Welcome back to the second part where I just want to show you guys how to composite all of these multipasses that we rendered out. So yeah, I just dropped them in here. We have our beauty over here. And then let's dive right in with the reflection pass. So at the moment it's just, yeah, not doing that much. And that's because in mode we're going to change the blending mode to add. And what it does, it just bumps up the reflection, yeah, like so. If you're not sure what blending mode to use, you can toggle through that with Shift plus and see all of the different blending modes. You can go through that. Maybe it can give you some interesting results. But for now we just keep it on add and we go to the AO, the ambient occlusion. So here it is. Typically we want to put this on multiply, and it's quite harsh, as you can see. So then you drop down the opacity so that these contact shadows are a bit pronounced, but not too much. And what's happening at the moment is actually because of the alpha, it's fucking up a little bit here. So what I usually do is I take the alpha from the beauty, I just duplicate the beauty, put it above it, and say, hey, just only apply it to where it's needed. So it's not applying it in the fully opaque places. Can you say that? Opaque, not opacite. Yeah, so that's what AO does. Moving on to the GI. I solo this layer. Yeah, like you see, it's bouncing the light. And what we can do to that one is we can, let me look at my notes, put it on lighten. And what it does, it just, yeah, shows it up. And all the bounces are visible now as well. You can tweak the opacity, of course, like so. Then for the shadow pass, it's just when I solo it, just black and white. What do you do with black and white layers? You multiply that to your scene, like so. It's getting quite messy at the moment because there's all these multipasses not really working together. And we're doing the same here. We're putting that beauty layer on top of it and using the alpha from that so that the shadow is only applied to those spots. Let me turn off the other passes actually so it's a bit more clear. So here's the shadow extra pronounced. What you can also do with this, instead of multiplying it directly to your scene, is you can have a, I don't know, black solid or whatever. You put it underneath it and say, hey, from this shadow pass, take the black and white and just only give me the, give me the black. And when I solo it, it makes sense. Here you see it. So then you just have that black solid and you can change that color. Maybe you have your scene that's really blue, you want the shadows to be dark blue or whatever. You can change it like that. And then instead of having this on multiply, have the black solid on multiply and drop the opacity. Alright. Motion pass, yeah, we quickly talked about that before in the previous video. I don't have the Real Smart Motion Blur installed at the moment, and there's some really good tutorials on how to do that. So please look at that if you want to get a fake motion blur. The depth I do want to show you. So what you want to do here is you want to make an adjustment layer and put some Frischluft on there, and in the Frischluft say, alright, take my depth from this layer, and when I turn it off, I crank it up here a bit and I say, alright, I want this area to be sharp and the rest is all blurred. So that's quite interesting. and you can change the depth to say, all right, now this needs to be sharp instead. So that's really cool. One thing that we usually do is we go into iris, and we change this up a little bit because this is a standard bokeh, as they call it. And I'm a bit more of a fan when we put it like this. Certain cameras have a shutter that looks a bit more like this, and then I drop this down a little bit as well. So this is the shape of your blur in the depth pass. So what does that do? When I go back, it just makes these look a bit better. All right, that's it. No, that's not it, because we also have a object buffer. We use that a lot actually, and what you do with it is you say, hey, take the luma from my object buffer, and then you have a soloed object, as you can see. And if I duplicate the beauty layer again, have that on the bottom. So now I have this cube, and maybe I wanna, I don't know, brighten it up a little bit. See, now you have control over that cube. So pretty cool. Don't read my slacks, please. Yeah, that's what you do with all these passes. It seems like a lot, but hey, just pick your favorites and yeah, be creative with it, I guess. All right, that was it. Bye-bye.